Hello, resilient Scorpio. There are times when life begins to shift, long before anything obvious changes on the outside, and you may be entering one of those seasons now. As the days ahead unfold, you could find yourself feeling quietly drawn toward experiences that once seemed uncertain or unfamiliar. Instead of asking you to become someone different, this moment gently encourages you to trust the stronger, wiser version of yourself that has been taking shape beneath the surface. The Fool reminds you that every meaningful journey begins with the courage to leave behind what no longer fits. You may notice an unexpected conversation, a new connection, or a chance encounter that brings fresh energy into your world. Sometimes another person's presence doesn't erase old sadness. It simply reminds you that your heart is still capable of feeling curious, hopeful, and fully alive again. Even so, echoes of the past may rise from time to time. Rather than seeing them as setbacks, consider them quiet reminders of how much you've already endured and how much you've grown. The Four of Swords suggests that true healing isn't found by avoiding difficult emotions, but by allowing moments of stillness to reveal what your busy mind has overlooked. Within that silence, you may discover that you're far more prepared for what's ahead than you once believed. The Ace of Cups speaks less about chasing love and more about opening yourself to a new way of receiving it. Whether this unfolds through a meaningful relationship, a creative passion, or a renewed sense of purpose, something has the potential to awaken emotions that feel genuine and deeply restorative. It isn't about repeating the past. It's about creating space for experiences that reflect the person you are becoming. The Six of Wands suggests that quiet persistence is beginning to earn recognition. If you've been working toward a professional goal or trying to overcome a challenge that has tested your confidence, this may be a period when your efforts begin to speak for themselves. Trust your instincts when opportunities appear, even if they arrive in unexpected forms, because your inner guidance may be clearer than you realize. To stay centered, surround yourself with symbols that remind you of your own resilience. Rose quartz can represent compassion toward yourself. As you continue healing, labradorite may serve as a reminder to trust your intuition when the next step isn't completely visible. And obsidian can symbolize your willingness to release emotional weight that no longer belongs in your future. Whether or not you work with these stones, let them represent qualities that already exist within you. As this next chapter continues to unfold, remember that growth is rarely loud. It often begins with one honest decision, one quiet realization, or one small act of courage repeated consistently over time. Even when the path ahead feels uncertain, every thoughtful step can bring you closer to a life that reflects your deepest values instead of your oldest fears. Keep in mind that this reading is meant for a wide audience, so some parts may resonate more deeply than others. Allow the insights that genuinely speak to your experience to stay with you, and feel comfortable releasing anything that doesn't. Your journey is uniquely your own, and your intuition remains one of the most trustworthy guides you have. Above all, remember that your choices shape your direction. While symbolic messages may offer perspective, you are always the one who decides how your story moves forward. In the coming moments, we'll explore the themes surrounding love, career, finances, health, and family, beginning with a few symbolic elements that may help you reflect on the energy surrounding this chapter. The symbolic number 8 may be worth keeping in mind as a reminder of resilience, renewal, and the quiet strength that develops through life's repeating cycles. A shade of deep burgundy can also serve as a meaningful companion during this period, representing emotional depth, inner confidence, and the courage to embrace transformation with an open heart. You may also notice yourself becoming more aware of the needs of those around you. While your compassion naturally draws you towards supporting others, this period gently reminds you that your own emotional well-being deserves equal attention. Finding balance between giving and receiving creates healthier relationships and allows both you and the people you care about to grow together. On a practical level, the coming weeks may encourage thoughtful progress in career matters, financial planning, or important decisions involving long-term stability. Rather than relying on luck alone, this is a favorable time to combine intuition with careful judgment, allowing both insight and strategy to work side by side. Opportunities may appear through patience, preparation, and your willingness to trust your own experience. You may also feel inspired to reconnect with someone who has quietly remained meaningful in your life, whether a close friend or a family member you've lost touch with over time. Even a simple message has the potential to reopen conversations that once seemed distant. Sometimes healing begins not with dramatic moments, but with the quiet decision to reach across the space that time has created. There is something quietly restorative about imagining yourself walking beneath a canopy of trees, where every step softens the noise of the outside world and makes room for your own thoughts to be heard. Whether you actually spend time in nature or simply create a peaceful moment at home, the invitation is the same. Reconnect with the part of yourself that speaks most honestly when everything else grows still. In the coming days, those quiet moments may reveal insights that have been waiting patiently beneath the surface. As this chapter unfolds, it may be worth gently disrupting routines that have become too familiar. What once provided comfort can sometimes become a place where growth quietly stalls without you realizing it. The answers you're searching for are unlikely to appear through constant activity alone. They may emerge when you allow yourself to pause, notice, and trust what your own instincts have been trying to tell you. You may begin noticing subtle patterns that seem to capture your attention in unexpected ways. It could be a meaningful coincidence, a familiar melody arriving at just the right moment, light breaking through the clouds after rain, or the calm reflection of a still lake that somehow mirrors your own inner landscape. Rather than viewing these moments as promises, allow them to serve as gentle reminders to stay aware, because they may encourage you to take a step you've been quietly considering for longer than you realize. That next step may not feel effortless, but it has the potential to move you closer to the version of yourself you've been gradually becoming. Sometimes the greatest transformation begins before any visible result appears, unfolding first as a quiet shift in perspective. Trust that your intuition is becoming clearer, helping you recognize opportunities that once blended into the background. The energy surrounding this period seems to heighten your natural ability to sense what lies beneath the surface of situations. Others may notice a calm confidence about you that wasn't there before. Not because you've changed overnight, but because you've become more comfortable standing in your own truth. That quiet authenticity can leave a lasting impression, opening conversations, relationships, or opportunities that develop in surprisingly natural ways. The magician reminds you that your greatest resource isn't luck, it's your ability to bring intention and action into harmony. When your thoughts, emotions, and decisions begin working together, possibilities that once felt distant become easier to recognize and pursue. Whether your focus turns toward your career, your relationships, or a personal dream you've carried for some time, steady commitment may accomplish far more than doubt ever could. Someone who crosses your path during this period may find themselves drawn to qualities they didn't expect to admire so deeply. Rather than being captivated by appearances alone, they may recognize the resilience you've built through experiences they know little about. Genuine connections often begin this way, not through perfect timing, but through two people meeting at a moment when honesty matters more than certainty. The Tower carries an important message, though not necessarily one of fear. It often appears after foundations have already begun to shift, inviting you to recognize that what has fallen away may have been making room for something stronger all along. Old expectations, outdated beliefs, or emotional patterns that once defined you may no longer belong in the life you're building, and releasing them creates space for greater stability. If recent disappointments have left you questioning your direction, remember that rebuilding is not the same as starting over. Every lesson you carried forward becomes part of a stronger foundation, shaped by experience rather than wishful thinking. Even those who seem connected to your story may be working through their own uncertainty, making this a period that rewards patience, honesty, and mutual understanding. The Ace of Pentacles points toward practical opportunities beginning to take shape. Progress may arrive through a promising project, a financial opening, or a professional conversation that encourages you to think beyond previous limitations. Instead of waiting for certainty to appear, trust yourself enough to explore these possibilities with both intuition and thoughtful planning. Your generous nature has often led you to invest energy in others before yourself, and there may have been moments when past setbacks made you hesitate to move forward again. Yet this season encourages a different response. Take purposeful action when opportunities arise, remain grounded in your values, and allow your growing confidence, not your old fears, to guide the decisions that shape what comes next. As this period continues to unfold, you may begin to notice practical opportunities gaining momentum in ways that feel both encouraging and surprisingly natural. A financial opening, a valuable resource, or a promising project could begin taking shape, inviting you to combine intuition with careful judgment. Instead of relying on either one alone, what appears at first to be a small opportunity may gradually reveal a much larger potential as you give it your patience and attention. Rather than announcing every success as soon as it appears, there is wisdom in allowing new developments to mature quietly while you decide how they truly fit into the future you want to build. Some of your strongest foundations may be established during moments when very little seems to be happening on the surface. The Justice card arrives as a symbol of clarity, returning where uncertainty once lingered. If you carried unanswered questions, unresolved emotions, or situations that never seemed entirely fair, this may become a time when perspective gradually replaces confusion. Instead of searching endlessly for explanations, you may discover that understanding comes naturally once your emotions become less attached to the outcome. Justice is not always immediate, but it often appears when you're finally willing to release the need to control every outcome and instead trust that truth reveals itself in its own time. What once felt tangled may begin to organize itself with surprising simplicity, allowing you to move forward with greater peace of mind. Someone who has been observing you from a distance may also be reaching an important realization of their own. As they sort through past regrets or unfinished emotions, they may begin to recognize the quiet strength and authenticity that first drew them toward you. They may see not only who you are now, but the resilience you developed through experiences that were never obvious from the outside. Whether this unfolds as an honest conversation, a sincere apology, or simply a clearer understanding between two people, what was once hidden has the potential to become easier to acknowledge. Sometimes the greatest shift is not in what another person says, but in the openness they finally bring into the conversation. The Knight of Cups suggests that emotional courage is beginning to replace hesitation. A heartfelt invitation, an unexpected message, or a meaningful encounter may emerge from someone who has spent considerable time reflecting before taking action. Their approach is likely to feel thoughtful rather than impulsive, giving both of you the space to discover whether something genuine can grow. Instead of rushing to conclusions, allow yourself to notice whether their actions carry the same sincerity as their words, because genuine intentions often reveal themselves through consistency rather than grand gestures. Trust develops one experience at a time, and lasting connections are usually built through quiet reliability instead of dramatic promises. For Scorpio, this card also reflects your own emotional evolution. You may discover that you're no longer responding from old fears or familiar defenses, but from a place of greater self-awareness. Situations that once would have triggered doubt or emotional withdrawal may now invite curiosity instead of fear. That quiet confidence allows relationships to develop with more honesty, creating space for deeper trust instead of repeating patterns that no longer serve you. This inner shift may be subtle, but it has the power to change the quality of every relationship that follows. Your well-being deserves the same attention as your ambitions during this season. Success becomes far more meaningful when your body, your emotions, and your daily rhythm are working together instead of competing for your attention. The simplest habits, consistent sleep, nourishing meals, moments of rest, and time to reconnect with yourself may become the foundation that supports every other area of your life. Even brief moments of intentional stillness can restore more energy than constantly pushing yourself beyond your limits, reminding you that sustainable progress always begins with a healthy foundation. Balance is rarely created through perfection. It grows from small choices repeated with intention, especially during periods when responsibilities increase or emotions become more demanding. You don't have to solve everything at once to regain your sense of stability. Listening to your body before exhaustion forces you to stop is an act of wisdom, not weakness, and it allows you to move forward with greater clarity. The more consistently you care for yourself, the easier it becomes to meet life's challenges without feeling overwhelmed by them. You may also find yourself facing situations where waiting for complete certainty only prolongs indecision. While thoughtful planning remains important, there are moments when trusting your preparation matters more than seeking universal approval. If an opportunity at work calls for initiative or a fresh perspective, don't be afraid to contribute your ideas with quiet confidence, because your willingness to step forward may leave a stronger impression than you expect. Others may recognize your ability to remain composed under pressure, making your steady approach just as valuable as your ideas themselves. Financially, the coming weeks may bring encouraging developments that reflect the effort you've invested over time. A delayed payment, an unexpected opportunity, or a project with long-term potential could begin moving in your favor, not as sudden luck, but as the natural result of persistence and thoughtful choices. You may also recognize opportunities that previously seemed too small to pursue, but now reveal their long-term value. Manage these gains with patience rather than impulse, allowing each decision to strengthen the foundation you're creating. Building lasting prosperity often depends less on dramatic breakthroughs and more on the quiet discipline of making wise choices consistently. Some obstacles that once slowed your progress may gradually lose their influence, making room for practical opportunities that feel both sustainable and rewarding. As old limitations fade, you may notice a renewed sense of confidence in your own decision-making, allowing you to move with less hesitation than before. Continue protecting your peace by being selective about what you share and with whom, recognizing that steady growth often flourishes away from unnecessary attention. Your intuition, combined with careful planning and healthy boundaries, can help transform temporary progress into lasting stability that continues to support you well beyond this chapter. In matters of the heart, this chapter leans toward quiet reassurance rather than dramatic change. Love may express itself through everyday moments of understanding, honest conversation, and a growing sense of emotional safety. You may find yourself appreciating simple gestures, a thoughtful message, shared laughter, or the comfort of knowing someone consistently shows up when it matters most. Sometimes the strongest relationships aren't defined by constant excitement, but by the calm certainty that both people are choosing to build something real, one thoughtful step at a time. That steady sense of trust has the potential to become one of the greatest gifts this season offers. One lesson that may become especially meaningful during this chapter is recognizing that every disagreement does not need a winner. Sometimes the strongest relationships grow when both people feel heard rather than defeated, creating a space where trust can deepen instead of quietly eroding over time. Choosing understanding over proving a point doesn't diminish your strength. It reveals a quiet confidence that allows genuine connection to flourish. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when simply offering another person the feeling of being understood is far more valuable than having the final word. The past has a way of returning, not to keep you trapped, but to show you how much you've changed. Old conversations, familiar emotions, or memories you thought had settled may briefly resurface, offering a chance to see them through wiser eyes and a calmer heart. You may notice that situations which once stirred fear or disappointment no longer hold the same emotional weight they once did. Instead of viewing these moments as setbacks, consider them gentle reminders of the resilience you built and the perspective you gained along the way. Every experience, even the difficult ones, has quietly shaped your ability to move forward with greater compassion for yourself and for others. If you're single, there is no need to rush your search for certainty. You may meet different people, explore new connections, or even find yourself opening conversations in unexpected places, yet one encounter could eventually feel unlike the rest. Rather than arriving with dramatic intensity, it may quietly grow into something that reaches your heart in a way you didn't anticipate, inviting you to respond with emotional honesty instead of old protective habits. Give yourself permission to let a connection unfold naturally, instead of measuring it against past experiences. Sometimes the relationships that leave the deepest mark begin with the simplest conversations and develop through genuine consistency rather than instant excitement. Family relationships also appear to be moving toward greater balance. Misunderstandings that once lingered beneath the surface may gradually become easier to discuss, creating opportunities for more open conversations and mutual understanding. Your willingness to listen with compassion while maintaining healthy boundaries can help everyone move forward without carrying unnecessary emotional weight from the past. Healing within a family rarely happens through one dramatic moment. More often, it grows through many small acts of patience, honest communication, and the willingness to meet each other with a little more grace than before. The Justice card continues to remind you that fairness begins with clarity. As hidden truths become easier to acknowledge, your intuition may help you navigate sensitive family matters with calm and wisdom rather than reaction. This quiet leadership doesn't require controlling every situation. It comes from creating an atmosphere where trust, respect, and honesty have room to grow. As everyone begins to understand each other's perspectives more clearly, long-standing tensions may gradually lose their influence, making space for relationships that feel lighter, healthier, and more authentic. You may also notice that your energy fluctuates more than usual during this period. Instead of pushing through exhaustion, pay attention to what genuinely restores you, whether that's movement, time outdoors, creative expression, or moments of complete stillness. Caring for your own well-being isn't a distraction from your goals. It gives you the strength to pursue them with greater consistency. Your body often recognizes the need for balance before your mind does, so listening to those quieter signals can help you avoid unnecessary stress while keeping your emotional resilience intact. Several important decisions may also begin asking for your attention. While your ability to examine every possibility can be a valuable strength, there comes a point when reflection must give way to action. Trust the preparation you've already done, and don't allow the search for perfect certainty to prevent meaningful progress. Growth often asks you to take the next step before every answer has revealed itself. Confidence isn't always born from knowing exactly what will happen. It frequently develops because you chose to move forward despite the uncertainty. At the same time, remember not to let career ambitions or practical responsibilities consume every part of your attention. Scorpio often grows most powerfully when outer achievement remains connected to inner purpose. Returning to your emotional center, listening to your intuition, and making space for reflection can help every decision feel more aligned with who you are becoming. When your external goals remain connected to your personal values, success becomes more than a destination. It becomes something that feels meaningful long after it has been achieved. If you're currently studying, the coming weeks may demand greater discipline and commitment than usual. Academic challenges could encourage you to approach familiar subjects from a completely different perspective, revealing possibilities you hadn't considered before. There may even be moments when a difficult lesson suddenly connects ideas that once seemed unrelated, giving you a deeper understanding of your own potential. Stay patient with the process, because consistent effort has a way of producing results that aren't always visible in the beginning, but become undeniable over time. Every hour invested now becomes part of a stronger foundation for the opportunities that lie ahead. Your interactions with certain people may also feel especially supportive during this chapter. Connections with Taurus may offer stability, reliability, and practical encouragement when you need solid ground beneath your feet. Leo can inspire confidence and help bring order to situations that once felt scattered, encouraging you to recognize your own strengths more clearly. Meanwhile, Virgo may encourage thoughtful conversations that deepen mutual understanding, whether the relationship is personal, romantic, or professional. Each of these connections offers something different, reminding you that meaningful growth often happens through the people who help you see yourself from a new perspective. Thank you for sharing this time and allowing these reflections to become part of your journey. If this reading offered a moment of clarity or encouraged you to see your path from a new perspective, I truly appreciate your support by leaving a like and subscribing for future readings. Every message shared here is created with the hope of offering encouragement, reflection, and a reminder that growth is rarely a straight path. It unfolds one thoughtful step at a time. Until we meet again, may the road ahead bring steady growth, meaningful connections, and the quiet confidence to trust each step as it unfolds.